Quarterfinal round got underway last night, New Year's Eve. Penn State taking on the champions out of the group of 5, Boise State of the Mountain West. Picked this up off a missed Boise State field goal. Penn State ball. Drew Allar finding Tyler Warren, who is just a matchup nightmare for just about everybody that he plays.
Best tight end in the country, Sam.
Yeah.
Tyler Warren, the do-it-all de facto for Penn State.
Penn State started this game really strong. Looked like it might have been a blowout. Allar launching it across the field, finding Amari Evans in the end zone this time.
Great throw right there. And I love the decision to come back and play some more football because this guy is improving each and every game that he plays. Their offense is only going to get better for next season.
All right, on to the third quarter now. This is where the Broncos made their comeback. Score 17-7. Maddox Madsen passes to Matt Lauders, tight end, and he is all by himself there.
What a play design. Everyone was sucked into Ashton Jeanty on the fake running back screen right there. Good job.
We got a ball game here. Cut it down to 3 points after the PAT. You know, Ashton Jeanty, no touchdowns in this game. He was held to a season low of 104. Finished 28 yards shy of Barry Sanders, but still an impressive day.
Season low 100.
He was just there, bro.
That's right. Penn State touchdown.
Woo-hoo. Yeah.
Puts this game away with under 5 to go. Nick Singleton takes it to the house. Penn State taking it all the way, and they win this game comfortably, though. 31-14, the final score. Penn State starting 2-0 in the playoff. They're going to take on the winner of the Sugar Bowl winner. Get to that in a second. Brief thoughts on this game, though, guys. Felt like a lot closer, I think, than the final score indicated. Boise State had some opportunities in this one. Jeanty largely kept in check by the Penn State front, and that was kind of the X factor of the game. If Penn State could limit Jeanty, they'd win. And that's exactly what they did, Scoob.
And I think that is the most impressive part about this game for the Penn State defense, because Abdul Carter got hurt in this game. Yeah. And even without him in the game, the Penn State defense kept him in check. They have only had one 100-yard rusher this entire season. And they hold Ashton Jeanty to just over 100 yards, a guy who averages about 192.1 yards per game. So really impressive performance by them after the game. Ashton Jeanty just said they have a great D-line. It wasn't anything that they did extraordinary. They executed, they tackled, they did everything right. But when you look at what Boise State did, they didn't do everything right. A lot of costly mistakes, Sam. I'm talking about penalties. 13 penalties for 90 yards. 2 missed field goals against a team that was heavily favored against them. So the formula for an upset is to not make those mistakes, not hurt yourself. You let the team that's favored over you hurt themselves, and to turn the ball over the way that Boise State did, like you're seeing on the screen, to get those penalties, and then to not execute on the blocks and the plays that you're supposed to make, it's just not going to lead to success, Matt.
I think big picture, one of the biggest plays in the game is when Maddox Madsen hit the touchdown there quickly. They got a call, illegal hands to the face on them. It took off that touchdown off the board. At the time, it would have made it 24-21. And in that situation, teams on the other side, you never know. I mean, you're one play away from them being too tight, being too careful with the ball. A turnover changes the outcome of the football game. That was a missed opportunity by just a lack of discipline and execution in a critical situation. Overall, I think Boise State played well. Maddox Madsen did a good job making some plays because he had to step up because of just the pressure of the Penn State defense and the focus. And you could see the game plan was really simple for Penn State. It was how many hats can we get to the football, how many bodies can put a shoulder or a helmet on Ashton Jeanty every time that he touches the football. And you could see, although Jeanty was clearly fatigued in the football game, he did a great job of continuing to just run hard, get downhill, and get those 2 or 3 yards. And that's just a credit to him and his toughness. And I really think also we saw a running back that was just a little worn out from a long season of essentially carrying the team single-handedly. And that's where, for him, you know, this is where one-trick pony type of offense, they never really had to develop the passing game as tremendously as maybe some other teams because they relied on him so heavily. and I think ultimately it kind of bit them in this situation. But Dirk Cutter did a great job of preparing Madsen, getting him ready to go in this football game, giving him some opportunities. But overall, just not enough Johnnies and Joes to balance against Penn State's defense.
I will say Boise State could have been a little bit more aggressive in their play calling. Specifically, I'm talking about the opening drive of the game, where they attempted that 45-yard field goal instead of going for it on a 4th and 2, and it ended up resulting in a shanked field goal. I mean, it was a hard miss. They missed a couple of field goals in this game that was completely costly. And we're talking about a team in Boise State that is great at going for it on 4th down. They're 15 for 21 on 4th down attempts this entire season. So when you're the underdog in this game, I expect you to go for it and be aggressive in those situations. But Sam, something we talked about last week, specifically with Penn State and their offense, is just how efficient they are on that side of the ball. Drew Allar, great that he's coming back, but still, I'm not overly impressed by his performance, but he made some throws when it mattered. And I think when you look at this, the biggest thing that they're probably going to be happy about is they found somebody else besides Tyler Warren or Mari Evans who can make a big play, that 38-yard touchdown. So they've been trying to find somebody else besides Tyler Warren to make some plays. 13 for 25, 171, 3 touchdowns for Drew Allar is pretty good. Didn't turn the ball over. That's something that he does really well. But overall, I'm still going to need to see a little bit more from him.
Yeah, and they rely on their running backs, obviously, right?
That's really the identity of their football team. Yeah. It's just they can't be patient enough in the run game. On their play sheet, it should be patience, run. Because that's the strength of their team. Let their offensive line, who is big and physical, lean on the opposing defensive lines, run it with your 2 big, strong backs, be patient that way, develop the play-action passing game off that. Drew Allar, I know it's not like special stats, but in crucial situations, like even this one right here, using his legs tremendously well to bail them out of really tough situations. He's making good decisions, and he does have the ability to make the wow throw for them. Like we saw to Evans, like we saw to Tyler Warren there in the end zone for the 2 touchdowns in the red zone. So that's the key for this team.
And that is so true, Matt, because their identity, like we just talked about, is running the ball. Texas didn't necessarily buy into their identity. And there was a portion in this game where they threw the ball multiple times when they just could have killed the clock out. And instead, they should have just ran the ball multiple times. Katron Allen and Nicholas Singleton, that's some of the best running back combinations in the entire country, maybe behind Ohio State. Both of those guys had great games. I mean, Allen, 17 carries, 134 yards. Singleton, 12 carries, 87 yards. Those 2 guys ended up closing out the game for Penn State. So for Penn State, what I would say is rip a page out of what Michigan did last year. How they got to the championship by running the football with their 2 backs, letting their quarterback just make those throws every once in a while on 3rd down. Drew Allar had one of those throws on 3rd down where it was a got to have it down. And last year, Michigan was one of the best 3rd down teams in the entire country. So, Allar, just make those throws when you have to, stay ahead of schedule, and you should be fine.
Penn State will take on the winner of the Sugar Bowl